from the Torah, that's the congregation you're gonna sit amongst, the congregation of the dead.
Wow.
So that just lets you know that the way that the way of instruction, the way of direction that we should walk, if we walking according to the Bible, is encompassed in the Torah. And when you sin, like, it literally means you getting away from the Torah. So that's where we get the understanding what we get from First John 3 and 4 is that sin is the transgression of the law. You literally breaking or straying away from the way when you sin, right?
So in essence, all of these churches out here they are the congregations of the dead.
Congregation of the dead.
Golly, man.
Zombies.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. And that's what it says. It's a light thing for us to wake up Jacob. Wake him up out of sleep. Wake him up out of that dead sleep that they in. You know what I mean?
Zombies.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's go to Leviticus 16, because now that we understand what sin is, iniquity, like I said, we get the word we get from, because all of this stuff. All of these words that we have now that we got these big meanings for, they all break down into something real simple. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, like iniquity comes from crookedness. Like the word crook. A person is crook because he's crooked. You know what I mean?
Right.
He not going in the straight path. You follow me? So even like we were speaking about lust. When one of the brothers we dealt with on the street was talking about that lust is a bad thing. Lust is not a bad thing in essence, because lust means, it comes from the word that means to breathe. When you breathe after something and you living for something, it means that you lusted for it, you living for it, right? That's what lust is. Just like when a man is chasing a woman, and it'll be said that, why you sweating her? Like, you're not literally sweating, but you working to get this woman. What happens when you work? You sweat. So, that's what they say. You sweat. Why you sweating that woman like that? Or whatever. But that's when it literally breaks down into something real simplistic when you're dealing with these big words that we have, like law and Torah and, iniquity and, So, when you're dealing with a people whose main way of life was agriculture, and they're dealing with the elements as far as they had to relate everything to what they knew, So if Torah is the way that we're supposed to walk that we got from the Most High, when you stray away from the way, you sin. Sin is missing the way. Easy, right? Okay, let's read Leviticus 16, verse 29. Because we coming up on the Day of Atonement, and that's the reason why I want to specifically point out what sin is. And there's another thing that I want to point out as far as sin. This is from the Hebrew dictionary. No, we ain't gonna do it. Okay, but yeah, since the Day of Atonement is coming up, I want to deal with that, point out what sin is as far as like straying away from the Torah, not abiding by the law, dealing with iniquity, and that when you're dealing with iniquity, it's actions that lead into a vain purpose, or a purpose that's not profitable according to the word. So let's go ahead and read verse 29.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 16 and verse 29. And this shall be a statute forever unto you.
For how long?
Forever unto you.
Unto who? Children of Israel, right?
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead, read.
That in the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month, you shall afflict your souls, and do no work at all, whether it be one of your own country, or a stranger that sojourns among you.
So even the people the mixed multitude that was riding with Israel, they was not supposed to do no work, period. Either if you're an Israelite or not. If you like Quab say, if you following the Most High, regardless if you was a Jew or Gentile, You're supposed to abide by the feast, period. Period. Not just, this wasn't just for Israelites. Go ahead, read.
Verse 30. For on that day shall the priest make an atonement for you to cleanse you, that you may be clean from all your sins before Yahuwah. It shall be a Shabbat of rest unto you, and you shall afflict your souls by a statute forever.
For how long?
Forever.
So that means it still stands today, right?
Right.
Can anybody tell me what an atonement is?
When Farrakhan had that thing.
I mean, nah.
It's not an act one mix, like Farrakhan said. Right?
Yeah, it's like you said, to atone is to make up for it, right? To atone for sins. It's like, but no, well, afflicting, that's what we have to do on the Day of Atonement. But we're gonna get into that. What do it mean to afflict your soul and all that stuff? Because that's the important part. Because you just read in Leviticus 23 that anybody who don't afflict their soul. Matter of fact, let's read it again for the people who just came in. Leviticus 23, starting at verse 26.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 26. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, saying, also, on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be a Kadesh convocation unto you, and you shall afflict your souls, and offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah.
Okay, so we already dealt with that we're supposed to keep it as a Sabbath and afflict our souls. Keep reading.
And you shall do, verse 28, and you shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before Yahuwah your power.
Let's see how serious this is to the Most High. Verse 29.
Verse 29. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people.
So if you don't afflict your soul, you're going to be cut off. Verse 30.
Verse 30. And whatsoever soul it be that does any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people.
So anybody that worked, he's going to be destroyed, right? Go ahead, read verse 31.
31. You shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings.
Okay. So we dealt with it. Go ahead, Brother Mark.
When you would go back to that 16 and 30, it said for that day shall the priest make an atonement. Who's the priest?
We're going to deal with that. Okay. So just letting you know that we're not supposed to work and we're supposed to afflict our soul. We're going to get into what it means to afflict your soul. That word afflict is the same. Matter of fact, let's go to Psalms 35. Verse 13.
The book of Psalms, chapter 35 and verse 13. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting, and my prayer returned into my own bosom.
That's good. So how do you afflict your soul?
Fasting.
With fasting, right? Because that same word right there, that's humble, is the same word for afflict in Leviticus 23 and 27. So that's how you afflict your soul, with fasting. So on the Day of Atonement, we are not supposed to eat or drink anything. The Hebrew for fasting?
Don't worry.
Okay.
I had a question.
Go ahead.
Say, like that, but suppose you have some medicine.
See that we. Yeah, that's a rough one because we have some pregnant sisters in the building, and you know, pregnant women gotta eat. You know, pregnant women gotta eat, and you know, we have some people who are taking medication. They have to take medication.
Trust in the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? The Most High will bring you through. For one day.
I don't know. Yeah, if one day ain't gonna hurt, I say lay off of them. For the sisters that's pregnant,
trust in the Most High.
I mean, like I said, you read the severity of it. If one day ain't gonna hurt, I wouldn't mess with it. But if like you can't make it through the day without your meds, I don't know. I can't make that call. You know what I'm saying? I think you're gonna have to. That's a judgment call you have to make yourself. Me personally, if it was me, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't take them. But everybody, you know, I can't. I don't want to tell you not to take your medication and then you get ill. So I say if you can stand not to take it, I wouldn't take it. But if you just absolutely have to. You know, it's hard for me to, you know.
Because before I used to go without the meds on that day, but now I have one that is the anti-rejection medicine. Oh, see, that makes it a little different. You have to take that. You have to take it. Immunosuppression, you have to take it.
It's a what?
Immunosuppression drug, you have to take it.
What you do for a living?
I work in healthcare.
Do you?
Yeah, see, and that's a different thing, but before I would go without taking, you know, like high blood pressure pills and all that stuff. But this immunosuppressant stuff, because if you don't, then what happens is then your body starts attacking the part that's been transplanted.
Let me ask you, sister. Who holds your life in their hand?
The Most High.
Okay. I just
He brought me through the whole thing.
So, is it possible to take it right before the day comes in, and then take it again once the day is over?
It may be.
So, if you can schedule when you take your medication now to the point where it'll last through that period, I would say do that now. Kind of get it in order to where you don't have to take it between that evening and evening. Take it right before it come in, and then once it's over, you can take it again. You don't miss. Right? Is that good? That works? Praise the Lord God.
Can we translate what particular day this ends up being on the calendar again? The day we're talking about right now?
What day is the Day of Atonement?
26
It's 26 at sundown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the 26th. That's the Day of Atonement.
The first is a feast, but that's fast.
That no, what you thinking of Tabernacles? That's from the 1st to the 9th. This is the Day of Atonement. This is the 26th to the 27th. That's when you fast. Absolutely no food, no water, which is a true fast according to Scripture. Ain't no game fast, no fruit fast, no juice fast. A true fast is no food, no water.
I was just gonna fast from TV that day. Right?
No, yeah, no fasting from TV, no fasting from radio, no fasting from Facebook.
I was just gonna fast from hip-hop.
Yeah, like true affliction is like denying yourself your pleasures.
because in the Hebrew, ain't it like cover the mouth, like
Yep.
the Hebrew term,
Exactly.
like cover.
Cover the mouth.
And so, is that BJ? Probably BJ. Yeah. She left. Yeah, that's probably BJ. But yeah, so that's true affliction of the soul. And it grants you the opportunity from the fact that you don't have to work and you ain't gotta cook, you ain't gotta eat. Pick up your books. Pick up your books. You got an ample opportunity to get some study in and to build your soul up. And while you're afflicting your flesh, you can be building up your spirit, right?
So you see it's like on Facebook and all that stuff too?
No, what I'm saying is, you know how people would be like, they fasting from TV. No. It was serious. It was serious. But you know how people would be like, well, I'm fasting from TV. But I'm fasting from the radio. Or I'm fasting from Facebook. No, seriously, a true fast is no food, no water. You know what I mean? Me personally, I wouldn't deal with the social networks either because it's supposed to be an affliction of the soul. We should just put everything down that day. You know what I mean?
I think at times like this, even on certain Sabbaths, sometimes it's easy to focus on what we can't do. But what we really need to do is focus on what we can do. You know, every single day we nourish our bodies by